Alright guys, we're back with another video. Today, if you have your Bible, we are in Luke 18, verses 1 through 8. The parable of the persistent widow. I love this parable, and I just wanna get into it already, so let's get into it here. Verse 1. And he told them a parable to effect that they ought always to pray and not lose heart. He said, in a certain city there was a judge who neither feared God nor respected man. And there was a widow in that city who kept coming to him, saying, give me justice against my adversary. For a while he refused, but afterward he said to himself, though I neither fear God nor respect man, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will give her justice, so that she will not beat me down by her continual coming. And the Lord said, hear what the unrighteous judge says. He will not give justice to his elect, who cry to him day and night. And verse 7. And will not God give justice to his elect, who cry to him day and night? Will he delay long over them? I tell you, he will give justice to them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? And right here he's telling his disciples to not lose faith in praying, to be consistent like this widow who would day in, day out go to this unrighteous judge. That's when it says he doesn't fear God nor man, that he's unrighteous, that she'll continuously go over to him to, please give me justice for my adversary. And she's consistent, and the judge gives it to her. He's like, I'm tired of her coming continuously. She's making me weary of it, and she's a bother. She's a pain in my butt. And so he gives her justice for it. And what Jesus says is, God, who is a righteous God, will he not deliver justice for you? For those who cry to him day and night. What he's saying is, this judge who's unrighteous could give that woman her justice, but God, who's righteous, a righteous God, will he not give you what you pray for? Because it says it right here in this parable that Jesus is saying that he will listen. He's hearing you. He's listening to you. You're being persistent. Yes, it may not happen over time, but it's going to happen. It's on his timing and not ours. And this whole parable, it's talking about persistent prayer, to not quit. Don't back off, and don't let delay talk you out of your faith. Just because it's not happening right now, don't let that stop you from being persistent with what you want from God. Because it says in, sorry, I got Bibles everywhere right now. It says in Matthew 7, verses 7 and 8. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, it will be opened. Jesus is like, keep knocking, and I will answer. Don't let him not answering you be a sign like, oh, he's not listening to me. Because he's listening to you. Just because it's not happening right now doesn't mean it won't happen. That lady was persistent over and over and over again, going over and over to that unrighteous judge, saying, please, please, please. And then he eventually what? Gave her justice. We have to pray without ceasing, just like in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17. Pray without ceasing. And if somebody's doing you dirty, and that means you just pray even more for them, because they're in a darkness and they need your light. They need the light of Jesus to get them out. So when you read that this widow, you're seeing a woman who would not take no for an answer. And how I could kind of think about that is like when I was littler, I would bug my mom over and over, can I play the game? Even if I was grounded, I'd be like, can I play the game? Can I play the game? And even though she said no, I'd keep asking until she said yeah. Until she was eventually like, I'm tired of listening to you. I'm tired of you coming and asking me over and over for the answer you don't want to accept, but the answer that you want. And so this widow didn't take no for an answer from this unrighteous judge. And that's the picture here. Steady pressure, holy persistence, and faith that keeps knocking. You got to keep knocking on that door, and they'll eventually answer. If I went to go knock on a stranger's door and I just knocked a couple times and they didn't answer and I walked away, of course they wouldn't come. But if I kept knocking and I was like, hey, I'm out here, please open the door, and I knocked harder and harder each time, they're gonna eventually come. Yeah, because it's annoying, but that's because that's just the unrighteous judge. Imagine a righteous judge, one who wants you to keep knocking and who wants to open the door for you. Imagine that. Complete difference. And this heart posture of just keep knocking and being persistent and consistency with God, that's teaching here a fire that is continuously lit and is being fanned. Never stop praying for somebody or that something, unless obviously God says no already. But because prayer isn't weakness, it's a warfare. When you pray, it's not that you're praying to God about the things you want. You're going into battle. Yeah, you're having a conversation with God, but all the time when I'm praying more so about my brothers, my sisters. I'm praying for my family members. I'm praying about the things I'm going through consistently. And that's because I can't do it on my own, and because I need him. I want to invite him into my life. So just like this widow, here's the lane that you need to walk in, is you keep pursuing. You keep asking, you keep trusting God's timing. Because he says, the feeling you feel now does not compare to the joy that he has for you later. Don't let the silence make you feel cynical. Don't let delay keep you dead inside. Stay faithful and keep pursuing. You have to be consistent. I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. And the first time I went to the gym, I was scrawny, I was skinny. You saw my bones, basically. I was all bones. Everybody would tell me I'm a few burgers away from looking healthy. And it didn't take 1 week for me to get big. It didn't take a year. It didn't take a couple months. I've been working out for practically about 6 years. And I'm barely 165. I've got finally some meats in my bone. And it took a couple burgers. But what I'm trying to say here is that it's not going to happen overnight. You can't go to the gym one night and expect to be big like the rest of everybody else that's been consistent. I know guys that's been in the gym longer than me and are bigger than me because they're consistent. They're consistent with eating right. They're consistent with working out heavy. They're consistent in that nature. And I want you to be consistent in prayer with your daily walk with Jesus. Consistency is key. It keeps you going. You may not see the growth right now, but over time, you'll eventually see growth. Something I go back to a lot is looking at photos of about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I was littler. And I'd see how skinny I am, and I'd see myself now and be like, dang, look at that growth. I didn't see it in the moment. I don't see it now because I can't picture myself then. I didn't see it then because I couldn't picture myself now. But after looking back, I seen the growth. I seen the consistency of going. You may not see the consistency. You may not see the outcome. You may not see where you started from. You may not even see it while you're in that moment of change. But once you hit that moment where you realize, like, man, Look at how I was before. When I wasn't consistent, when I wasn't persistent with God. My life is so much better now. I'm more healthier. I'm stronger. You have to be consistent, because consistency is what keeps it aligned, basically. Well, Jesus keeps it aligned, but consistency is key. You have communication, you have consistency, you have love, you have all of that. But where you need to start is consistency. A lot of people have the motivation to go to the gym. A lot of people have the motivation to talk to Jesus that day. But the next day it's like, I don't want to go. I already went. I'm going to eat a couple snacks. I'm going to doze off in the world. I'm going to eat these snacks. But the world has nothing good to offer for you. You want to eat off the plate of the world, but it has nothing good to offer you. So you have to go back to being disciplined. Discipline isn't what you can do more. It's about what he already did, and you're resting in that. Discipline is waking up every morning and choosing your Bible over your phone. Discipline is putting down away the snacks and putting on the protein, the carbs, watching your calories, watching what you're intaking so you can see how much you need and not overdo it. Like gluttony, not overeat. To fill yourself with the word and be consistent with it. Consistent in prayer. Everybody's going through a psalm. But what did David do in the Psalms? He was consistent in his prayer. He was honest. You could be like, Lord, I'm going through this sin, I'm going through this warfare, I'm going through this battle. And you could bring up the parable of the widow and be like, you said it here. You said it here that you would answer me. You said if I kept knocking, you'd answer me. I know you're not a liar. So answer me, Lord. You say it right here. God can take your honesty. What he can't take is that you want to follow him with your mouth and be far from him with your heart. So be consistent. I love you guys. And I love the fact that you guys want to learn. I love the fact that you guys want to take your walk with Christ seriously. And it's beautiful. Because it's not just a little toy you can pick up and put down whenever you want. It's something that you got to keep forever. I pray this video is fruitful. I pray it was a blessing for you. I pray you learned something. And most of all, I pray you're consistent. You're consistent with the Lord. You're being persistent like this widow. And you're not giving up. Because the moment you give up is the moment you lost. Have a good one.